Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Media News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Uyi Agmofwebe. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nightcomsat. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Nafdac, has announced the discontinuation of the registration of multi-dose anti-malarial Arthemeter Lumefantrine dry powder for oral suspension. The announcement was made in a public alert released on the agency's website. Nafdac says the decision follows stability concerns as studies have shown that the reconstituted formulations lose efficacy over time. In a different development, the Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control says it has now seized 87 truckloads of banned, expired, and substandard medicinal products, including USAID and UNFPA donated antiretroviral drugs, male and female condoms, among others. Nafdac's Director General, Professor Modushola Adeye, reviewed these while briefing the State House correspondents at the Presidential Villa in Abuja on the heel of one of its member staff child kidnapped in Kano in line of duty. She says counterfeiters are after her life and that of her workers. The senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has insisted that her probe proceedings of the Senate be broadcast live, declaring that Nigerians have a right to witness the process. Akpoti-Uduaghan, who was referred to the Senate's Ethics and Disciplinary Committee following her face-off with Senate President Godswill Akpabio over a seating arrangement, said she was ready to face the panel but would not allow the matter to be handled behind closed doors. In a statement she posted on her Facebook page, the lawmaker said she had so far refrained from speaking publicly on the issue and other developments in the Senate, but had now decided to break her silence. Let's turn to other stories for you. The Sultanate Council Secretary says Friday, 28th February 2025 marks the start of the search for the moon of Ramadan. This is contained in a statement signed by Wazirin Sokoto and Chairman Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council, Professor Sambo Wali Junaidu. It called on Muslims to look out for the moon on Friday and report any sighting to their nearest district or village head for onward communication to the Sultan of Sokoto and President General of Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, for formal announcement. A group of heavily armed Boko Haram insurgents has launched an overnight attack on Kwampre and surrounding villages in New Yadul districts of Hong local government area of Adamawa State. Worship places, schools, houses, and business premises were reportedly set ablaze and properties worth millions of naira looted. Joel Kulaha, the village head of Kwampre, and Abalis Jawaja, the village head of King, said the insurgents descended on the community's church and buildings and carting away valuables. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Sokoto State University branch, has declared a total, comprehensive, and indefinite strike. The union said the failure of the University Administration, Governing Council, and the state governments to address lingering issues it raised were the reasons for the strike. It promised comprehensive enforcement, stating that the strike would shut down all activities across the institution. The International Telecommunications Union, ITU, has appealed to the global community for collective action and collaboration against submarine cable disruptions and cuts that could slow down the growth and development of digital economy in the world. Secretary General of the Union, Doreen Bojan-Martin, made the remarks in Abuja during the opening ceremony of the ITU International Submarine Cable Resilience Summit, hosted by Nigeria for the first time. She noted that at the moment, digital economy accounts for the greater part of the world's gross domestic product, GDP, and is expected to peak at $16.5 trillion by 2028. All security aides attached to Speaker modular miranda of the Lagos State House of Assembly have been withdrawn. The security details attached to the speaker, including police officers, have been withdrawn. The spokesperson for Miranda, Gonzalo Victor, confirmed the development and could not say the reason behind the action. We'll take you to Nigeria's southeast now, where Abia State government has hinted on amending the state's law on expired drugs to allow for severe punishment and improvement of traders selling fake, expired, unregistered medicines and other products. State Governor Alex Oti gave the hint in Aba at a meeting with the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Nafdac, and representatives of Area, Ezioku, and Tenant Road markets. The meeting also had in attendance Chairman Aba South Local Government Council Ayawo Obialo and the Director, Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria, Abia Chapter Ngozi Ezewanta. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has pledged his administration's commitment to fostering security and the well-being of the state's citizenry. Bala made the pledge during the opening of the State Security Council meeting behind closed doors at the Executive Chamber of the Government House in Bauchi. The governor expressed his concern on the rising issues of security among border communities with neighboring states, which he attributed to the mass migration from the neighboring states posed with security threats. This is Global Television. You're watching the live broadcast of the Media News with Uyi Agmofwebe. When the news returns after this short break, Nigeria eyes $7.7 trillion halal economy in new Saudi deal. We have those details from the business scene as well as more stories from foreign and sports segments for you on the flip side of this short break.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Thank you for staying with us, everyone. The second part of the news broadcast now returns to a business where the federal government has signed a cooperation agreement with Saudi Arabia's Halal Products Development Company to establish Nigeria as a leading player in the global halal market, valued at $7.7 trillion. The agreement will facilitate investment, technical cooperation, and market access across key sectors, including feed production, pharmaceuticals, finance, and livestock for both countries. During the signing ceremony at the Makkah Halal Forum in Saudi Arabia, Vice President Kashif Shettima said the partnership represents a game-changing opportunity to transform Nigeria into a global halal economy powerhouse. The federal government, states, and local government councils have shared a total of 1.703 trillion naira in federation account revenue for January 2025. This amount represents an increase of 19.6% or 279 billion naira from the 1.424 trillion naira shared from December 2024 revenue. According to a press release by the Director, Press and Public Relations at the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Mokwa. The statement was based on a communique issued by the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee after its monthly meeting. China has vowed to take all necessary countermeasures after United States President Donald Trump says he would impose an additional 10% tariff on Chinese imports, a decision Beijing warned would seriously impact dialogue. Trump's latest move will come into effect on Tuesday, alongside sweeping 25% levies on Canadian and Mexican imports, intensifying a brewing trade war between the world's two largest economies. The 10% tariff on Chinese imports will come on top of an existing levy of the same rate imposed by Trump on China earlier this month. Now let's stretch it further into the foreign scene with gunfire and explosions have ripped through a rally held by rebel leaders in the city they recently captured in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. Videos show chaotic scenes with bodies on the streets after the world fled the rally in Bukavu, the second biggest city in the east, in panic. Casualty figures are unclear, but reports have quoted a hospital source as saying that at least 11 people have been killed and 60 others wounded. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's office says he has invited more than a dozen European and EU leaders to ascend the summit to drive forward action on Ukrainian security. Starmer will chair a morning call with Baltic nations ahead of the main summit, and then it will welcome Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to Downing Street to discuss the war with Russia. Leaders from around the continental Europe, including France, Germany, Denmark, and Italy, as well as Turkey, NATO, and the European Union, have been invited to the summit in London later on Sunday. United States President Donald Trump says he has a lot of respect for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on the eve of their talks at the White House. When asked if he would apologize for recently calling him a dictator, he said he could not believe he had said this. He also called Zelensky very brave. Trump was speaking after talks with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer about ending the war between Ukraine and Russia. As Muslims around the world begin observing the holy month of Ramadan, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has issued a message wishing peace and unity to those observing this sacred month. In his video message, Guterres expressed his warmest wishes to Muslims worldwide and reflected on the values of compassion, empathy, and generosity that define Ramadan. The Secretary General noted that Ramadan is not only a time for spiritual reflection, but also an opportunity to reconnect with family and community, to remember those who are less fortunate. Israel's military has published its first official account of what authorities now call the mistakes that led to its failures during Hamas's 7 October 2023 attack, which triggered the Gaza war. The report concludes that Israel Defense Forces failed in its mission to protect Israeli civilians. The 19-page report contains much that is already known about what led to the catastrophic loss of about 1,200 lives when approximately 5,000 gunmen from Hamas and other Palestinian groups stormed into Israel, also taking 251 hostages in the process. This is the point where we'll get you some excitement from the world of sports. Kano Pillars coach Usman Abdallah has insisted he does not understand why the management of the club has suspended him after the club announced an extension of his initial 3-week suspension. Abdallah was nailed by the club earlier this month after their goalless draw against Bayelsa United in Kano, and the former Nigerian champions cited the coach's gesture to the fans and poor form as the reasons. The coach's 3-week suspension lapsed last week, where the club soon announced that the period has been elongated till the end of their Nigeria Premier League Matchday 28 game against Kwara United on Sunday, March 9, to allow them to do more investigation. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has unveiled plans to elevate the ECOWAS Abuja International Marathon to World Athletics Gold Label status with the next 4 years, making it one of the most prestigious road races globally. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, ECOWAS Director of Youth and Sports, Francis Njogwani, who also serves as the chairman of the main organizing committee, announced exclusive prize money incentives for West African runners participating in the 2025 edition. ECOWAS now says the initiative is designed to encourage regional participation and celebrate homegrown talent as the marathon commemorates the 50th anniversary of the regional body. And that's all we have for you on the news brief here on Global Television. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, start times 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. You can download our app, or Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcasts. I'm Wiyag Mofwegwe saying a big thank you to you for watching. We will see you again.